Hi, I'm Eirin Bruheim, and you're watching Sidelines TV.
Welcome back to Sidelines TV. I'm here today at Palm Beach Point in Wellington, Florida, right around the corner from the Winter Equestrian Festival, with Eirin Bruheim. Eirin, how are you?
I'm good, how are you?
Great, thank you. Eirin is a Norwegian rider, which is really kind of fascinating. I want to know how you wound up going from riding in Norway to the United States.
Well, it was just a natural sort of progression. You have all these huge shows in Europe that are sometimes a little harder to get into. And you come down to Wellington, they have these great classes, goes for 12 weeks, and you really get a chance to enter them and try your hand at some of the bigger classes without having the hardship of getting into them.
Right. And how would you define the difference between showing in Europe and the United States?
I think the biggest difference is that this is a growing circuit, so that they're really working on developing so many different facilities and types of classes. So they're more game for having younger riders try their hands and inexperienced riders in order to kind of get feedback. And then when you go to Europe, it's really old school, you know. Everybody's been in those circuits for years, and sometimes they stop progressing a little bit.
And I know that your mom has been a real big influence in your life as a rider, and was she instrumental in bringing you here?
Very much so. My mom supports me 100% all the time. So when I told her, you know, I would like to go to WEF, she goes, of course, we have to try that.
You are based now out of a farm just outside of Houston?
Yeah, in Tomball.
And how is that, being in Texas and commuting to Europe all the time?
Texas is a very different place. It's nice for horses, though. It's horse country for sure. So it's nice to go down there where it's a little low-key, maybe, you know, take a break or two. And then flying to Europe and stuff isn't that hard because you have, up in Houston, I think or in Kentucky, we fly horses back and forth from there. So it isn't that far away.
And you rode with Hough this past summer?
Yes.
And how was that?
That was nice. I think I spent 7 or 8 months based out of England with her, and it was nice. We went to some great shows, did a couple of the 2-star GCTs, and really enjoyed myself over there.
And now here in Florida, you're riding with Dello.
Yes.
And Norman's a fantastic rider and trainer. Have you really gotten anything out of that so far?
Oh, so much. When we came here, we decided kind of to take a step back, especially with my younger horses, and build them up. And so far, they're almost back to where they were before we came here, but the rideability is so much better, and I can go out there and kind of work on myself instead of, you know, making sure they're coming around the course correctly.
Do you find any struggles being in the young rider category?
I think it's actually a benefit to have this young rider category, because so often you're in the larger classes with some of, you know, obviously the world's best riders. You have like all of the top 10 riders here at WEF, so going in the young rider classes, you have a chance at, you know, the international experience, but without having to compete against #1 in the world.
You represented North America in 2010?
Yes, I did.
How did that come about?
You know, I was based out of Texas for a while, so we thought, you know, it'd be nice, try to do some of the young riders there, because at that point, you know, going to Europe for young riders was a long ways away, and I wasn't ready for that at all. And you know, grew up in Texas, so it was like a nice progression.
And the experience of just being with all of these other riders on strange horses, how was that?
Oh, that was a lot of fun. That was in the Youth Olympics, which was in Singapore. And it was a great experience. The horse riding might not have been the best, but I got to meet so many like young riders from around the world who are now, you know, some of the best riders from their countries. So it was really great building, you know, those relationships.
I guess you're going to keep that into the future.
Yes, I hope so.
You also have a string of young horses, and how do you manage that as a young rider with young horses?
It's a little difficult because as a young rider, you want to move up so quickly, you want to prove yourself, and with young horses, you have to take things a little slower, so it's a lot of patience, that's for sure.
Yeah. Aside from all the daily riding that you do you have any single major aspiration for your equestrian life?
I'd like to be one of the big riders in the future that can go to World Cup finals, the World Equestrian Games, the Olympics. So that's really what I want to work towards.
And do you see yourself representing Norway or the United States in that?
I think Norway. The federation in Norway is really supportive as well. They're working really hard to develop, new riders coming up, and they have a great program, and they're going to start really putting people out there in different shows and working on our team.
That's great.
Yeah.
Any certain highlight of your riding career so far?
Last year, I think, came my biggest highlight of my career, which I went to the GCT and I won the 2-star prix there. And it was so special to me because it was the first international, Grand Prix that I had won, and it came on a horse that I had been winning a lot on previously, and then to have it all come together and win a Grand Prix over some big names was very special for me. It kind of cemented this idea that, if I work hard enough, I can do it.
That's awesome. Was there a single day that you thought to yourself, I can't even believe that I'm here doing this?
Yeah, it's usually after you come out of the ring. You might not always win, but it's like a really great round where you think everything went pretty much perfect there. You can't get much better than that. And then you walk out and you think back to, when you started, you could hardly get lead changes. Now you're here doing these big classes and doing well, and you're like, you can't always believe that you've gone this far.
And when you ride in Norway, do your horses speak Norwegian?
Probably, they do. They're definitely multilingual.
That's what I was wondering, just in case. Great. Well, thank you so much, Eirin, for taking the time with us.
Thank you.
Great. For Sidelines TV, I'm Rob Jordan.